What's up, guys? I'm Sofia Carson, and my new song is called Come Back Home from my Netflix movie Purple Hearts. And you are watching my exclusive, most requested live Ask Anything chat. Thank you so much to Romeo and my iHeartRadio family for having me tonight. Okay, first up is Michelle from Denmark, and Michelle wants to know if I read the Purple Hearts book, and she says, I love you so much. I love you so much, Michelle. And I did, of course. I first came on board this project 5 years ago with the original, very rough script of Purple Hearts, and of course to prepare for the film. I did read our book, even though our film is not, it's loosely based on the Purple Hearts book, but I of course read it to prepare to be Cassie. Next up is Brienne, I hope I'm saying that right, from San Jose, California. And she says, hi Sophia, did you and Nicholas ever talk about doing a song together? You know, on set, Nick always had his guitar, and in between sets, he was always playing, and we would always kind of sing something, which was really fun. And, you know, one of the reasons why Liz, my director, and I started working together is because she heard me singing part of the soundtrack for Star is Born. So that always has a really special meaning for us. And so Nick and I would sometimes sing Shallow in between scenes. Alicia from Holden says, after so much success from Purple Hearts and your debut album, what is next for you? How do you keep the momentum going and not get burnt out? Well, thank you so much, Alicia. I am truly just savoring every single moment of this incredible journey of the last couple of weeks, and I'm trying to be as present as possible while also working so hard and, of course, planning and strategizing for what's next. Definitely reading a lot of scripts, have a couple of other projects in the works. I'm about to go on radio tour as well because Come Back Home has gone viral. So many things are happening at once. Also thinking about what I could potentially produce next. So many exciting things are happening, and I'm just trying to take the time to kind of soak it all in and enjoy it. I love what I do so much, and I'm so grateful that something that I poured so much of myself into has been so beloved by the world, and I'm excited to be able to do it again. So Dasha from Russia asks, what is your favorite thing about being home with Bao and Joey? This might be my favorite question. Bao and Joey, well, my sister is my best friend, and it's just like my safe place and my happiness and my peace. I love coming home to them. I love whenever I am home, waking up to them and waking up to Joey in the morning. I love, you know, our nights when Bao cooks and we have dinner together and we watch something together and sharing our successes together and cheering each other on. It's, I'm so grateful for it. Lama from Australia says, not a question, but I just want to say I appreciate and admire your work with UNICEF and the Latin Grammys. Your charity work encourages me to do more within my community. Thank you so much, Lama. I so appreciate that, and I'm so happy that it's inspiring you to give back and use your voice and make a change. I've always believed that the most important thing that we can do is use our voices for good and to give, and so I'm happy to be able to help in any way that I can. And thank you for your words. Beth from Columbia, South Carolina says, have you ever tried to cook after that soup story? The soup story Beth is referencing is a story I think my sister told. And I was essentially graduating high school. I was getting ready to go off to college and to LA to pursue all of this. And I've never been able to cook. I've never been good in the kitchen. And my parents wanted me to, you know, to have basic skills. And so I think they attempted to teach me how to warm up soup on the stove. It was a disaster. Anyways, I have attempted, and I can do a couple of things. I'm limited, but I can make scrambled eggs, which are pretty good. I can make hard-boiled eggs with a little hard-boiled egg maker that I have. And I once, for my sister's birthday, followed a baking recipe, and I was able to make a vegan cinnamon banana bread, and it actually was amazing. I decided not to try again because I feel like I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead, but I have attempted, and I'm you know, I can survive off of my basic skills. Dell from Fort Lauderdale, which is where I was born. Hey Dell, will there be a Purple Hearts 2? You know, it is so beautiful to see how much the world has fallen in love with our movie and the demand for a sequel, and to see where Cassie and Luke go. I don't know the answer to that question. You know, I've adored playing Cassie. I've adored pouring my heart and soul into this film in every aspect, and I would of course love to be her again. I think it would have to be a really, really, really special story, but anything is possible. So TBD. Allison from Enfield says, "Hey Sophia, it's Allison. I know I have said this before, but I love you and I'm so proud of you." Thank you, Allison. I have a couple questions as well. Where do you see yourself career-wise in 10 years? And do you have any goals that you would like to meet by then? That's two great questions. In 10 years, I think I would love to see myself producing more films. I would love to have the privilege of being able to keep doing what I love first and foremost, whether that's film, that's TV, musical performances, writing music. I would honestly love to keep doing what I'm doing in 10 years. I would love that. I think I very much admire, there's so many careers I admire. Angelina, for instance, who dove into directing. I would love to perhaps do that as well. Reese Witherspoon, who has an incredible production company. I would love to explore that as well. So yeah, you know, the sky is the limit, and I can't wait to see what's to come. Sarah from St. Louis, France says, "Hi Sophia, what was the scariest scene you've ever shot?" Scariest scene. I think there could be scenes that are scary for different reasons. I think scary as in like you're scared to see if you can go to those depths as an actor, and I definitely had a lot of those in Purple Hearts. Oh gosh, what was the scariest? I don't know, that's a tough question. I think I was definitely, you know, Cassie was a big challenge for me, and a lot of her really emotional and darker scenes were scary for me, but also so exhilarating. And you're able to kind of go to those depths and step into someone's skin so wholly. I think Nick and I were really, really scared to film our big fight because we had built up so much expectation for it, and it was also one of the scenes that we chemistry read together for, so we had been kind of building it up in our minds for a couple of months. So I think we were really scared of that one. But when you're scared of scenes, it's sometimes really exciting because the adrenaline and the fear can fuel you in a really beautiful way. Kat from London, England says, "Hey Sophia from the UK. Hi guys. I love all your songs, especially Guess I'm a Liar and Fool's Gold. If you can make a music video for any of the non-singles on your album, which song would it be?" That's a great question. I would say, I think Two Tears in a Bucket or Stay. Also, do you have a favorite book to read? Oh gosh, let me check right now. I've been reading a couple of books. I've read some really beautiful ones recently. Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover was really beautiful. I also read one called A Beautiful Terrible Thing, which really left a mark on me. So thank you for your question. Anastasia from Russia. Is there a country you haven't been to but really want to visit? Russia. I haven't been to Germany. I would love to go to Australia. Croatia, I've also heard is quite beautiful, but you know, such a beautiful part of my job is I get to go and live in places that otherwise I wouldn't. So I'm really excited to see where my next journey takes me. Mariana from Brazil. What's your favorite song from the movie soundtrack? Eu Te Amo, Brazil. My favorite song, that's so hard. It's like picking my favorite child, if I ever had to pick my favorite child. I think it's a hard tie for me between Come Back Home and I Didn't Know. I would say are my favorites. Casey from Charlotte says, "What's your middle name?" My middle name is actually Lauren, and there's a really beautiful story behind that. My mom was pregnant with me, and Sophia Loren was receiving the Oscar for Lifetime Achievement Award, and my mom had always admired Sophia, and my grandmother's name is Lorraine, and so in that moment everything kind of clicked for her, and she said, "I think I'm gonna have a daughter, and I think her name is going to be Sophia Loren. And Lauren is in honor of my grandmother, and then Sophia is in honor of Sophia Loren. Madeline from NYC, how is the planning going for the world tour? Definitely something is in the works, is all I will say. Patricia from Romania says, what do you think your younger self would say about Cassie and Come Back Home? How has Cassie impacted me? It's funny, I was just texting my director right now that I feel like I am a changed person and a changed artist since Cassie and since this experience in so many ways, and I get emotional just thinking about it. Only for the better. And I think my younger self, I think she wouldn't believe what's happening. Because I always dreamt really big. I'm getting emotional. But what's happening right now is kind of beyond my wildest dreams. So I think she would be so proud. And she would be so proud, and she would admire Cassie so much. And I think she wouldn't, part of her wouldn't believe it. So thank you for that question. Okay. Ash from North Carolina wants to know what was my favorite ring that Cassie had on. Great question. I picked all of her rings, and the rings that she literally wore every day. They're like an extension of her. God, that's tough. There were so many cool ones. I really loved her really, really big kind of moonstone ring. Kind of felt a little bit Indian, a little bit rock and roll. And of course, I also loved the engagement ring, or I guess the wedding band that Luke made for Cassie. That's really beautiful. Hannah from Toronto, please speak Spanish for us. You can say anything. Hola Hannah, gracias de todo corazón por amar mi película, por amar a Cassie. Los quiero con todo mi corazón. ¡Mua! Un beso enorme. Madeline from Lancaster says, what was your favorite part about doing this film, starring, producing, or writing the music? And can I also get a happy birthday? Happy birthday, Madeline! I hope it was beautiful and filled with love and happiness and all your dreams come true. My favorite part was everything. I loved every part of this movie. I'm so grateful to Liz, my director, and to my partners, and to Netflix for believing in me to not only be Cassie, but to also be a producer, to be a decision maker, to develop the script, to develop Cassie, to help cast, to, write the soundtrack with the incredible Justin Tranter. I poured so much of myself into this, and I think that was my favorite part. I was my most vulnerable, my most raw, my most honest, and it was beautiful and transformative, and I can't wait to do it again. Jenny from Lexington says, who had the best sense of humor in the Purple Hearts cast? That's a good question. Definitely not me, because I don't find myself very funny. Although Nicholas did laugh at me quite a lot and thinks that I am funny, but I don't think I'm very funny. Nick was pretty funny. Chosen's also really funny. Nick Duvernay's also really funny. Honestly, we had the best cast. The Loyal, we also were always laughing. Liz was just funny in her own way, so many. Liliana from Venezuela, she says, flashback, I asked you this question a year ago when you were on Romeo's show. How do you feel about the fact that you will be producing your first movie soon? It's really exciting. That is a really beautiful flashback. I remember talking about Purple Hearts every chance I could get, never imagining that would be happening. Maya from NYC, what's your favorite Cassie hairstyle? Cassie, I worked a lot on developing Cassie's look, and I loved that she just kind of was effortlessly cool. She never really tried too hard to look the way that she did, but she always was so cool. So we kind of kept her hair pretty similar throughout the whole, which is kind of how I'm wearing it now, just kind of down and carefree, which I really liked. And of course, I know that Cassie tuck has become such a thing, which I never imagined it would be. I've been tucking my hair into my jacket since as far as I could remember, and with Cassie it just felt really natural because she was kind of unbothered, and I never wanted my hair to be in the way, and there were so many scenes where if my hair got in the way, it just got in the way of performance, I would just kind of tuck it in my jacket to forget about it, and it became kind of like our thing. And so I would say the Cassie tuck, which I can do right now. Laura from Chesapeake says, had you always wanted to be in the music industry? Yes, God, I don't remember a moment in my life when I wasn't in love with music, with performance, with storytelling. It was my first love, and I'm so happy that I get to do everything that I love, especially like in a film like Purple Hearts. Sarah from Brooklyn says, how is your sister? My sister is amazing. Thank you for asking. I was just with her this morning. I'm leaving on radio tour soon, so I'm gonna miss her, but she's amazing, and she's my best friend, and I love her so much. Tanya from LA. Is this my friend Tanya? If it is T, I love you, but I don't think so. Tanya says, what was your first impression of Nicholas Pursley when you first met him? So I met Nick first through Zoom because it was COVID and he was in the UK, and my first impression was, first of all, we had incredible chemistry, which was so vital to Cassie and Luke, and he was a really hard worker. Like, he was really determined to get this role and to do, to make the changes and the adjustments that needed to be made for him to become Luke. And I really respected and admire that. I'm a really hard worker myself, and I'm really disciplined, and I take what I do very seriously. And so I look for that in a partner. And then when I met him in person was the day before we started shooting, and he was much goofier than I guess had met via Zoom, which was, also fun and a nice contrast, I would say, to me on set, because I was always very, very serious. Christina from New York says, what was your favorite on-screen kiss out of all your projects? This is a good question, Christina. Nick's head is gonna get so big after this, but I would say my favorite and most beautiful on-screen kiss that I've had, I think, is the beautiful iconic scene at the deployment scene when Cassie gets lifted up and then her and Luke kiss at the bus. I think it's really beautiful and iconic, and it felt really real and meaningful when we were doing it, and so I would say that one is my favorite. Patty from Calgary says, does chemistry with other actors come naturally, or is it something you need to develop? If you need to develop it, what are some ways to do it? I actually think that you either have chemistry with someone or you don't. Very much like in real life, you either connect with someone and you feel that fire, or you don't. And Nick and I definitely had that, and I think it's key for on-screen relationships in general. Laura from Brazil says, whose idea was it to put the flags on Cassie's balcony? I would say it was Liz. I think it was Liz, our director's idea, to do that. Perhaps it also was in our book. I can't recall at the moment, but I think it was Liz's idea. Thank you guys so much for watching my most requested live Ask Anything Chat. Thank you, Romeo, for having me tonight to talk about Come Back Home and Purple Hearts. I love you guys, and I'll see you soon.